Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about this new boss monster coming out in Dawn of Majesty that is a new synchro that is generic and has a really weird effect. If you get 5 monster effects after this card comes out, well, you're going to be able to send everything right back into the deck as a quick effect, which actually is pretty good. Anyways, let's go and check them out. This card is coming out in Dawn of Majesty. This set is actually looking a lot better right now. So anyways, this is Wolf-Freyet the Stellar Wind Wolf. So it's a beast synchro effect, wind level 9, 2500 attack, 0 defense points. And it is going to require a tuner and 1+ non-tuner monsters. And it says you can only control one Wolf-Freyet the Stellar Wind Wolf. And the second part of the effect is each time another monster's effect is activated while this card has less than 4000 attack, it gains 300 attack. This third part of it says, once per turn, if this card's attack is 4000 or more, as a quick effect, you can shuffle this card and all monsters your opponent controls into the deck. This is an amazing effect, being able to shuffle this card and all monsters. Keep in mind, it's not all cards your opponent controls, which would be super OP, but like it's still pretty dang good as a quick effect that you can just be like, okay, I'm going to quick effect this and I'm going to OTK you the following turn, in case they don't have any back row. But this is actually pretty easy to get, because some of you guys might be thinking, well, like, you know, what's the difference here? Let me do the quick maths for you over here. So if I bust out the calculator, so it has 2,500 to start, right? It's always going to have that attack unless something changes it. But then each time another monster effect is activated, that includes your cards as well. It doesn't say each time your opponent's. So you can make this card, let's say in Virtual Worlds first, then do whatever, you know, X steps for any other deck. It doesn't really matter. But you start doing other monster effects. That's just 5 monster effects. And even if you could just get like 3 effects, your opponent is going to activate 2 monster effects to make something that's going to even want to warrant a negate in most situations in Yu-Gi-Oh, right? So at the end of the day, over here, it does have that potential to get that effect. Not too bad, as long as you are able to make it first. It almost reminds me of Nibiru, because it's like getting 5 of those monster effects. Like, even if you just make this, your opponent would then need to use 5 effects, then you're like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and shuffle everything. Now, the question is it that good of an investment? Because then on top of that, maybe your board is also blanked. Because this technically, with this effect over here, depending on the circumstance, this could be the only card you have. But you can shuffle this card in all monsters your opponent controls. So if you make this card first, then have extra cards that have extra negates or whatever, you can still have those cards. So it's not all monsters, it's just all monsters your opponent controls. So this card actually is looking a lot better. Now, I was thinking about it at first. I'm like, is there anything that can boost up the attack of this? Well, there are cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, I was thinking like, what, Axe of Despair, Megamorph, if you like lower it. Like, you could technically get its effect a little bit easier. But then I was thinking about it, right? This is basically just, it's only able to activate it once. At that point, if you're running some equip card, because let's be honest, equip cards, unless you're running like sold decks, right? They're just really irrelevant, I would say, in most of the meta of the game. It's just not really viable to play. But why not just run like Solemn Judgment as another card for like another like negate? Why try to run a conditional card where if you draw into it, it could be technically bad? But maybe since this card has 0 defense, you might be able to like, bring it back with a lot of other cards, and then you can get its effect again. I just think this card has a lot of potential. But the problem that I also had with this is because I was thinking about getting it back, because this might meet a lot of criteria for other Yu-Gi-Oh cards. The problem is it has to shuffle this card back. It doesn't like send itself to the graveyard or tribute it, so it goes away, and then maybe you can get some other, you know, again, bringing it back out of the grave later down the line. But I still think that's a cool and a very interesting boss monster effect. Again, it comes out kind of weak, but then you can, you know, make it stronger if your opponent starts activating a bunch of effects. But I'm not sure how I feel about this. Do you guys think it's going to see any play in the meta? I definitely think some decks can make great use out of it. Again, you just have to like go for it like first, because again, it gives you a really good follow-up play to OTK. But let me know your guys' thoughts on Wolf-Freyet the Stellar Wind Wolf down below in the comment section below, because I think it's definitely an interesting card to talk about. But that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for the vid. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, drop a like on it. If you're new here and do want to see more new Yu-Gi-Oh cards, hit subscribe, turn that bell, and you'll definitely see more very soon. Or if you guys got any cool, if you guys know some crazy FTKs or OTKs with this card, feel free to send it in to a replay file at AzneyesReplays@gmail.com. But thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next vid. I'm out. Peace.